Florida Farm Bureau's highest honor, the Distinguished Service Award, is bestowed upon individuals who have made significant lifetime contributions to agriculture and the farm community at the state or local level. With a grassroots membership that lives the legacy of agriculture, community service, and advocacy throughout our state, there are many Farm Bureau volunteers who deserve recognition for their accomplishments. Commissioner Wilton Simpson of Pasco County is one of those members. Florida Farm Bureau is proud to recognize Wilton Simpson with the 2024 Distinguished Service Award.
When I was a young man, we moved from Plant City to Trilby when I was about 11 years old, and we were in the construction business, asbestos business, but we had bought about 150 acres of land. So we had some cattle at that time, and my dad decided that he wanted to be in the egg business. So we started building onto our egg farm in the late 70s, and I've been in agriculture ever since. Getting involved in Farm Bureau was natural for me. I had a really dear friend, Alan Altman, he's a dear friend today, that when we started building our first egg house, walked up our driveway and said, "Hey, you're gonna need some insurance on this building." And the next day there was a tornado / strong wind come through and tore the trusses off of it. We had not even signed the paperwork yet. But Farm Bureau honored the word that we were buying the policy, and ever since then we've been involved in Farm Bureau. Growing up in that mindset that you have to be, as a farmer, the work ethic, that Farm Bureau is not only an advocate for us, but that also protects our assets and our families in our time of need, has brought a sense of, not only as a family of Farm Bureau, but as an enhancement to my family, knowing that we could count on Farm Bureau if something happened to me, and being very prideful that I could be a part of Farm Bureau to advocate for agriculture and our way of life.
I've known Wilton for as long as I can remember, but our friendship has changed and developed over the years. Being on the fair board with Wilton is when I really got to see him on a professional level, not just a friendship. So during that time, Wilton helped me work up the ranks, being secretary, and then working my way into president, which he passed the gavel to me through. Through his mentorship on the fair, I've learned so much about community, the importance of community, but the most important part of our relationship is a friend that I can always count on to be there for me no matter what time of day or night, and always there to give the best advice.
I think it's very important to be a voice for agriculture at the local level, because that's where the real agriculture happens. We know what affects our local agriculture, and the Farm Bureau system is about the grassroots, right? It's the small farmer has a voice in the Farm Bureau system, and that's what I love a bit about Farm Bureau is we all have a voice. We all have a process that we can work within to make sure that our voice is heard. We're the sort of the spine of agriculture throughout the country. Individually, we could fail because, we don't have a big enough voice. But when you put all those voices together under the Farm Bureau umbrella, then it gives us a big voice in Tallahassee and with the political strength that brings.
Commissioner Simpson is a very big advocate for Farm Bureau and the agriculture community. If any one of our members or board members needs something, we can usually go straight to him and he can help us out. He knows how to come up with a vision and make sure that it is followed through.
He sees things clearly, and I love that. There's some people that things just make sense to them. Well, solving problems makes sense to Wilton. He's identified farming and protecting farming in Florida as a priority.
Commissioner Simpson started off at the county level, ended up being the Pasco County president, moving up into the state directorship. But nonetheless, he has been a Farm Bureau advocate, a Farm Bureau participant for all these years. Then when he's in the state legislature, he is serving in the state Senate. He is a champion for Agricultural Award, and he's also the Legislator of the Year in 2017. He is a Farm Bureau advocate for all of our members, and now representing all of agriculture across the state. It's a huge benefit to our members and to our industry.
My farming career has been my way of life. So if you were me growing up, you were working 7 days a week and you didn't always know where you were going to be working. And when I think about growing up with that type of work ethic, and then as I got older and I decided to do other type of businesses, you bring that same work ethic to those businesses. Anything you're talking about in the legislature, you have the ag background to bring to the table. Your skill set is much broader. And so I think for me, I bring all those skill sets to bear on the projects that I take on and I've taken on later in life, including this one as Commissioner of Agriculture. One of the largest things that we're doing now in the Commissioner of Agriculture's office is we are doing our rural and family lands, where we are buying development rights from farmers to ensure that we're going to have farmland 100 years from now, 500 years from now.
The Rural and Family Lands Protection Program is a conservation easement program under Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. So his leadership on this issue has been the single most important thing that has happened for conservation and agriculture in this state. And now all of a sudden there is hope. There is hope with the agricultural community. There is hope within the conservation community that through this funding, we can actually have an impact and conserve what we need to conserve.
Wilton has done a fabulous job while he was in the Senate and has continued that while he has been commissioner. While he was in Senate, obviously he helped spearhead the Michael disaster bills that interjected over $90 million into the West Florida disaster area following Michael. Absolutely imperative to the forest industry to try to give a shot in the arm to keep that industry intact and moving forward.
You know, Wilton, obviously a champion for Florida farmers, had come to me and said, you know, we want to do this Right to Farm bill. And really it's designed to protect Florida farming. Nobody understands better the rich history of farming to Florida, its importance to our economy, and really the importance of farming to the world. You know, one of the things he and I talked a lot about is not just the needs to feed our families, but the idea that farming is a national security issue for all of America. Wilton understood that, and he wanted Florida to step up, to shine a light for the rest of the nation as a place that protects our farmers, protects our food security, and is something that is an example for the rest of the nation. And we did that, and it was with Wilton's leadership that we got that bill done.
What we have done in the last decade and the last few years is really amazing for Florida farmers. I go to a lot of these meetings where we give out these type of awards, the Distinguished Service Award, and it's always an incredible family member. And Farm Bureau has been an organization that seeks out excellence. And then if you can produce excellence, they reward those excellence. And we give awards throughout this entire organization. And to get an award like this is an honor of a lifetime.